about this. Have you all ever heard of vabbing? That's VABBING. Now listen, you all. I'm gonna tell y'all what that bull junkie is. Okay, vabbing is when a woman, sticks her fingers between me and thee, and then she rubs it on her as perfume. Now I'm gonna tell y'all, it's said that by doing that, you will attract men quickly because they'll be attracted to your pheromones and all this other ish. So a young lady, she tried vabbing. Again, that's sticking your fingers between me and thee. And, she dabbed it on the neck, before she went on a date. Baby, she get to the date and the dude looking at her like, and she's like, so, how's everything going and all this and that, trying to make small talk. And this man is sitting up here, I know, no doubt, trying to figure out what crawled in you, on you, through you, and died. Like, why do you smell like that? So she begins to explain to this man what she did before coming on the date. And baby, she was proud about it. Well, yeah, I stuck my fingers between, and I put a little bit behind on my neck and behind my ears, and that's supposed to make you more attracted to me. You all, by looking at the young lady, I don't think they told her that your cooter cat gotta be clean. Okay, it gotta listen. You cannot go dabbing perch and dead seafood on your neck and then thinking that that's going to attract anybody. Now you all looking at her. Not you listen now, y'all. I know I don't be the one trying to talk about nobody. But looking at her, I'm just like, honey, listen, if you looking unkempt like that from the outside, I can only imagine what that thing smelling like. And she did not look like that thing was smelling fresh. So she should not have been trying to vab. I mean, I just think that it's a little bit too much. Here's the thing. If they not naturally checking for you, all that extra ish, no. It is, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry that the vabbing did not work. But let me know, you guys, is that something that you all would be open to doing, fellas? Is that something that you all would be open to experiencing and have, would you be okay if a woman told you that, she stuck her fingers between me and thee and she dabbed a little bit here and dabbed a little bit there? Would you all be okay with her telling you that? Because clearly this young lady that did it, clearly that thing, it was a problem with that thing. Because here's my thing. If she did that, no one, how would anybody know if it, because it doesn't tip, if it's clean and everything is right, you should be able to stick your fingers down there and you shouldn't smell anything if everything is okay. So the fact that she walked past and he like, what the, no doubt I knew this man wanted to drop every F-bomb that he could think of, but it was on TV. So again, if you are gonna vab, to each his own. However, please be warned that it has to be clean. Do not stick your fingers in some dirty hooter hat and then decide to dab. No, listen, because if it made you cringe when you put your fingers there and you decided to start babbing, if it made you go, then honey, it's gonna make everybody else around you do the same thing. So my love, that's probably the reason why you're single, is because that thing, it hasn't been tamed. That thing needs some work. Okay, you cannot. And then it just it's not gonna work. Again, I'm not against whoever wants to, you can do whatever it is that you want to do. If you are grown, do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you like, as T.I. said. Do whatever you like. Just make sure it's clean, because I felt like when she did that, she had to think twice about it. She like, is that me? If you can stick your finger in that and say, is that me? First, two things. First of all, you should not, that's not the odor, that's not the smell that you want to have representing you. Secondly, don't go on that date. Just go on and try that ish again. Now, she looked like she was one of those ladies that don't believe in the soap and the water. And here's the thing. Some people just don't do the soap. Got it. It's so many other things out there that you can do to wash that thing out. Again, that thing should not, it should not have a strong odor. If it has an offensive odor, it's something wrong with it. Okay, it's something wrong down there, and you probably want to go talk to somebody and see, what's going on with your nether regions. But under no circumstance, please, if your thing, if that thing disgusts you, when you put your fingers down now, what you think it's gonna do to other people? Don't do. Look, as soon as you go down there, you still do this, and you bring. If you get any kind, if you can smell anything, don't do it. Vabbing is not for you. If you put your finger down there, no. Do a quick sniff test before. Listen, matter of fact, you don't even have, just wave it in front of your face. If you smell anything, vabbing is not for you. Vabbing is probably why you single, because that thing right there, listen, it's out of control, okay? It's out of control. The odor, and these men have not had the courage to tell you that that thing is spoiled, that thing is off the hinges, okay? That thing needs some work, okay? You at this point, you can't even give it away if it's, now listen, let me just pause right there real quick, because I was going to say you can't even give it away, but I'm going to retract that statement, because there are some dudes out here that it don't matter what it smell like, what it look like. If you give it to them, they going to take it. So I'm going to recant that statement. You can just about give it away. You can just about give it away. It's going to be somebody that want it. It may not be the person that you're looking for, but if you giving it away, you'll look around and somebody going to take it. They may not come back for seconds, but you can find you somebody that's going to take that funky thing. But I'm just going to say this. As a general rule of thumb, just make sure everything is all right before you go trying these new trends. Because I'm going to tell you, it was one of us that tried it, right? But I don't think that that's something that Black people do. I just don't. Not being racist or anything like that. I just don't think that that's something that Black women would be sitting up. Well, let me sit up here. Let me see if I stick my fingers in my hooter and I put it around my neck. Will this make me attract more men? I don't think. Mm-mm. 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 I don't think that that's something that we originated, but it was one of us that, that did Po Child. She did try it, but again, she's not one of the ones that you would see on social media twerking and dropping it like it's hot. She was one of those homely looking young ladies, and I don't necessarily think that homely is a bad thing. You just have to look like you care about yourself, because if you don't look like you care about yourself, then nobody else is going to care about you. If you don't look like, if you don't present yourself to the world as your best self, it kind of comes off in your aura. It kind of comes out. So it's like going out with somebody, you can clearly see that this young lady, that she had low self-esteem because she was sitting there on a date like this. I mean, the wig was horrible. Now listen, I love me some wigs, okay? Listen, we can wear some wigs like they some shoes, okay? Just change them up, get what fits you, and don't let it, listen, don't let them get all tangled up. You got to take care of them so that they can look right, you know? But she didn't do that. She was one of the ones that she got one and it got a little tangled. And she, went in the closet and thought that, you know what, this would be a good idea. This bull junkie right here, this is a good idea for me to wear on this date. It didn't work out that well for her. But again, to each his own. If you decide that, vibing, again, that's, sticking your fingers in your hooter, and then just taking a little the juices and the berries, and putting it on you and wearing it as um your natural scent, wearing it as a perfume. Now listen, I will say this. Now there are some celebrities. Now I remember this some years ago, and I don't know how true it is, but there were some celebrities that said that they actually put they had a little scent, and they did the vibing, and they made it, and they added their scent into a perfume. Now I know that I'm not interested in wearing nobody else's hooter juice on me. But if it's sold and she was able to make it happen, then who am I to be mad about that? Who am I to be mad about that? But again, this particular young lady that did that, yeah, no, it probably didn't work out the way she thought that it was gonna work out. But you know what? Poor Tink Tink, bless her poor spirit. But listen, you all, speaking of poor spirit, now what do you all think about this? I have over here the game. He's saying that, you know what? If he spends about $5,000 for a chick that he's dating to get her hair done, to get her nails done, to take care of her, he says that, you know what? It's a man's job to take care of a woman. He says 5K, he's giving a woman 5K a month to take care of herself. He's getting her hair done, he's paying her rent, car note, everything that he's doing. He says that that's what a man is supposed to do. And if a man is not doing that, then women, ladies, you should not be wasting your time on a man that is not going to be taking care of all of your expenses and your upkeep like that. Now, listen, fellas, so I'm going to tell y'all. So now you all have to stop jumping on the ladies about saying this, because you have a man here, the game. He's come out and he said this. He's dropping 5K for these chicks that he's messing around with. He was like, you need your lights paid? Got it. You need your rent paid? Got it. You need your bills paid, your cell phone, you need your car, you need your insurance paid? Got it. You need a babysitter? Got it. I got you. You don't got to do nothing but show up. Fellas, this may be where some of these ladies are getting this from. Now, ladies, I will say this. A lot of men don't, it's just a few select men in this, in that 1%, 2% category that can do that. The everyday brother can't do that. And that's okay. Like, it should be okay. If you get a dude that says he can drop all of this and he can do this for you, great. But don't go expecting that and then feeling like a man owes you something. He don't owe you jack. He don't owe you nothing. If a man decides to drop whatever amount of money he decides to drop for you to pay your bills, let that be, man, that's something. Okay, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that he thought of me to, what I'm saying, to do this. But it's not his responsibility. It's not his responsibility to take care of you. It's truly not. Again, the game, he can do that because he got it. But the regular guy that is working his job, or he got his side hustle, and he's trying to take care of the things that he needs to take care for his home, he don't got that. It's hard in today's society. You cannot expect a man to be able to take care of himself, his own household, and then come over and take care of all your bills. Like, no. Look, this is something that the game decided that this is what he's gonna do. If you meet a guy, and again, if this is something that you require, okay, hold out and wait for the dude that falls in that category. But most dudes don't fall in that category, and that is okay. Because I can promise you that with him dropping $5,000 and paying your bills, I can promise you you're not the only one. So if you want to spread yourself thin and just share yourself and be with a dude that is gonna be out, hanging out with multiple women and just doing whatever it is that he wants to do, then you know what? Listen, knock yourself out. Be okay with that, but don't expect him to be faithful. Don't expect any of that from this man that's paying all of this stuff for you. Just don't expect that. Like, you can't expect him to be faithful to you, because again, you just one of the chicks that he is enjoying spending time with, but you can't ask him to be exclusive to you. I don't think. To me, that sounds like some player type stuff, because here's the deal. When a man has it, like, ladies, men don't have a problem with giving you money, especially men that have it. They don't have a problem with that. But if you come acting like he owes you something, then you're not getting nothing. I wouldn't give you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. If your ish ain't together, that's a you problem. You need to have yourself together. Don't sit up here and blame somebody else if your responsibility, if your stuff ain't in order. It's your fault. It ain't nobody's fault but yours. So again, he don't owe you nothing, but it's like when he goes out and if he's talking to another woman, listen, at least he gave you $5,000. At least he paying your bills. At least he paying your light bill, your gas bill, your rent. He getting your hair done. He getting your nails done. But when you need him most, say if something goes wrong or you sick or you not feeling well, are you really expecting him to be there for you? No, because you never locked into anything solid with him. The only thing that you had that he was giving you was money, and you were okay with that. So if that's what your goal is, then rock out. But speaking of owing people, what do you all think about this? Now, this story, this allegedly, Glorilla, she's a young rapper. For those that don't know, her sister is coming out saying that, Glorilla is basically acting funny with her family, and the family still live where they was living before Glorilla blew up, and before she became a millionaire, she became rich. Her family still working, and the mother had to borrow $100 or something from the sister because Glorilla she's blocked them. And so basically the sister is like, oh, I got the tea. I'm going to tell y'all how y'all think she so this and so that. She don't even treat her family right. What do you all think about that? Because here's the thing. We have to do better. From reading that statement from the sister, I instantly felt entitlement Entitlement. How are you entitled to Glorilla's money? Yes, she is probably a millionaire, but then at the end of the day, you don't really know like, stop counting people's pockets. That's what I first want to say. Stop counting people's pockets. Next, she don't owe you nothing. She don't owe nobody nothing but kids. If she had minor children, I don't think she has any kids. But if she does have minor children, those are the only people that she would owe anything to. But any adult, she does not owe anything to anybody. Would it be nice? Of course. Yes, it would be nice if she retired her parents. Yes, it would be nice if she broke her family off a little something. But Glorilla has been in the limelight for a few years. So who's to say that she didn't do that initially, that she didn't break people off in her family a little something in the beginning? And now here it is 3 years, 4 years later, and you're back and you still have your hands out. Some people think like this. If you rich and you famous and you got it, that I should be rich and famous and I got it. Let me tell y'all something. Come closer. It don't work like that, my love. It don't work like that. If you didn't put the work in, if you didn't get the contract, you didn't get the deal, she's not entitled to do anything for anybody. And we have to stop that, because this is like the second story that I've heard within, a few months. The other one was another young rapper. It was a young guy. I forget his name. But I think it was Finesse, 2 times, Finesse 5,000. I don't know. But it was another one of these rappers that his parents and his family was doing the same thing, calling him out because they're like, listen, my mama needed $1,500 to. Well, mama should be out there working. Mama should be working. Mama, what he did, yes, that's his mother. If he decides to take care of his mama and retire his mama, that is great. But mama should not be sitting back. Mama should not have quit her job because Finesse 12 times got out and he done signed the contract. Mama, he signed the contract, not you. And then we have these people that you want all these benefits, but were you supportive? That's the time. We don't really talk about that. We don't talk about the family that is not supporting you when you out there grinding, you out there getting to it, you out in the building mode and nobody knows you. You out there in the grind mode. How many of these family members that got their hands out now, how many was helping? How many, even if you could not help them financially, how many of you all were pouring into them? How many of you all were sharing their Facebook pages? Cost you nothing. How many of you all were commenting in their stream? Cost you nothing. How many of you all were sharing their videos and sharing their songs? It cost you absolutely nothing to support. But now that they've made it, now you feel as though they owe you something. And they don't. Now you want to jump on. Now you got all this to say. She did this and she ain't. Y'all think she doing something? Y'all, look, this is so good. If y'all don't know what I'm drinking, ask me in a comment and I'll tell y'all. But look, they up here. She doing this and y'all think she this and she ain't. Listen, before she made it, before she signed that contract, who was helping her? Were you up late at night helping her manage her social media accounts? Were you driving her to auditions? Were you helping her get outfits? Were you a part? Were you sewing into her on her journey? Was anybody doing that? Because if you were not there, if you were not a support system, how dare you think just because now she's made it and because we're family that she owes you something? Now, would it be me? Listen, my mom would be totally taking mama comment off rip. Like it wouldn't be this, it wouldn't be a conversation about that. Mama comment, siblings comment, nieces, and listen, the more millions, everybody listen. But I am not. Look, I already got a plan. I already got a plan laid out because I already know, I see how this thing is going to go. So you have to be able to teach people how to sow into themselves. You can't sow like certain people, you can't get them no money. You can't. Mm-mm. No. Because guess what? They gonna blow it. So what I would do, if you know somebody that, listen, you done came into some money, but you know good and doggone well, if you gave them some money, they gonna smoke it, toot it, or drink it up. Okay? But you love them and you want to help them. Listen, I will put them up in a little place, pay their light bill for a year. Listen, or take care. If I'm going to put them up in a place, I'll put it up in something that will be modest and it will be good. But look, people, stop expecting to live like the breadwinner is living. If I'm driving, well, I ain't going to be driving, I'm going to have a chauffeur. But when my chauffeur come and get me, you still got to drive. Don't think because I have a car service, you going to get a car service. No. I made this money. You didn't. So you don't get to have the privileges and the luxuries that the person making the money have. Because sometimes, let's be honest, these family members think that since, listen, if you wearing name brand purses and stuff, then they think that, oh, well, you supposed, no. You don't have this type of money to buy this name brand purse. And I'm not obligated to buy you no name brand purse. I'm not obligated to do any of that. I'm going to be nice to you and I'm going to take care of you how I see fit. See, that's what people don't tell that. They don't tell that part. They don't say that, you know what? Glorilla, she paid my rent for a year. They're not going to tell you that. They just going to say, she ain't give me no money. Oh, but she paid your bills. She paid you up out of debt. She paid your kids' school tuition. She did the stuff that needed to be done. I'm just saying, hypothetically, that could have been the way that she did. But at the end of the day, if we circle right back around to it, she doesn't owe nobody nothing. So family, please, before y'all start with this scandal, trying to drag this girl's name through the mud, whether she gave you something or not, she owes you not near nothing. She owes you nada. Nothing, not a god doggone thing does this girl owe you. This young lady owe you. She don't owe you nothing. She don't even owe Madea and Pawpaw. But I would hope that Madea and Pawpaw, that she would take care of Madea and Pawpaw. But now listen, I'm gonna speak on this one. Let me take a sip real quick because when I'm gonna speak on this one, and this may ruffle a few feathers. Parents, we gotta be honest. Everybody does not have a good, loving, healthy relationship with their parents. They don't. And when they become famous, now the media, they want to share the light. Or now you have the family members want to share the light and bring all of the family skeletons to the forefront because somebody has paid them for some dirt. And so now we don't have a loyal bone in our body. Like we just, listen, we gonna tell it all. We'll sell out anybody for $1. And you're going to say, oh, well, she didn't do this for her mother and she didn't do this for her parents. And I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just using this as a hypothetical example. But what if she didn't have a good relationship with them? Is she supposed to still go out of her way to take care of them? And again, I'm not saying that this is the case. So we're going to just talk generally. If you became wealthy and your parents were neglectful when you were growing up and you didn't have a good relationship with them, are you obligated? Because there are a lot of celebrities out there outside of Glorilla. We can think about Oprah Winfrey and her father. They didn't have a good relationship. Are you entitled? Are you responsible? Are you obligated to take care of parents that did not take care of you when you needed them, when you were a child? Now that you're well off and you're an adult, are you responsible? Are you obligated to take care of those neglectful parents that failed to take care of you? Are you responsible for doing that? Let me know, what do you all think about that? The parents, listen, they weren't there. She's like, well, listen, my dinner wasn't there. So why would I go out of my way to do, I gave them something in the beginning, but I'm not just going to keep on be passing out money like this because I don't have to. Because they're your parents. Does that mean that you are obligated to constantly put something in when they have their hand out? Especially if they were neglectful or they failed to take care of you as a parent should when you were a child. Are you responsible for taking care of your parents? Are you responsible for that? Now, here's the deal. Yes, I know some of you all may be like, they can't do this and I understand you all. I do. I promise you I do. Understand. But they're your parents. There's no guideline to this issue. There's no rule book to it. Okay. A lot of people have been brought up in dysfunctional households. Listen, when that crack cocaine, and I'm not saying this is not about Glorilla anymore, this is just in general. When that crack cocaine hit the hood, when I tell you, I remember, and I don't know how many of you all remember when crack cocaine hit. Man, these folks got like, it was and I was a kid, and I remember like how people were BC, before crack and after crack. Like, baby, that crack cocaine came through and changed and tore up so many different families. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just trying to paint a picture to show what kind of happened to the family, the Black family, along the way. Again, it's not an excuse, none of that. But a lot of kids suffered as a result of that crack cocaine epidemic. A lot of them, if we just gonna be, let's keep it a buck. A lot of families were destroyed because of that crack cocaine epidemic. A lot of families. And guess what? Some people never bounced back. Some families never bounced back. And as a result, there were a lot of kids that were neglected. A lot of them, a lot of families that were torn apart because the kids were not taken care of. Because the parents was chasing, listen, they was chasing that next high. They was chasing a high that they would never, ever receive again. And they spent 5 years, 10 years. Listen, some folks out there still chasing that high that they received back in the 80s when this crack cocaine hit the hood. They still out there, they still chasing it. So a lot of that caused families to be broken up. Parents were out there instead of taking care of the kids. So now as a result, kids got to live with grandmama and them, and my them doing the best that they can for the kids, and but they older now, so you don't get all of the things that you need. It's just a lot of stuff that happened. And then you just got some parents that, they like, listen, that I still want to be, I got pregnant young, I wasn't ready for no kids, I'm still trying to be out here. You got those parents. Then you got those parents that, listen, I ain't want to have no kids with him, or I thought I just had this baby because I thought he was going to stay. It's so many different reasons why parents neglect kids. Some reasons are intentional, some because they didn't know, or some because they got caught again on this crack cocaine or all these other drugs that came, as a result of all this stuff being flushed into our communities. So there are a number of reasons. But whatever the reason is, and again, I know it's hard. I know it's not the easiest thing to do, to forgive a parent that was not there for you or that was neglectful. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not. But when you look at the overall picture, again, right, wrong, or indifferent, that is your parent. That is your parent. You're not their parent. So you have to honor them and take care of them. Jay, oh my God, I know you did not just say that after saying, you do. Because it's for you. You gotta forgive. We're walking around with so much unforgiveness because of things that our parents did or didn't do. And guess what? Some of us may be unknowingly repeating the same cycles with our children. So it's just like, man, it's so hard when you're talking about family dynamics and that family dysfunction and that hurt, and it is a lot to get into. It's a lot to tackle, and it's a lot to deal with. But if you were blessed and you were put in position to make it out of the hood, you were fortunate enough to make it out and do better for yourself, at the end of the day, it's still, if you have family and your parents are still alive, do right by them. Again, I'm not saying it gotta be all kumbaya. And again, some people, you still have to deal with them with a long handled spoon. Some of them, some of them, especially if they still out there on that stuff, you can't tell them folks where you live. No, you cannot. No. You cannot give them no money in their hands, because guess what? They lie to overdose. They lie to just slip on into la la land. You give them too much. So you have to deal with a people on their level. Deal with them accordingly. It's not a one size fit all. But what I'm saying is, do the right thing by people, even if they did not do right by you. Because by doing that, you just open up the door for yourself for more blessings. But if you're intentionally saying, I ain't doing nothing. I ain't giving her nothing. I ain't doing nothing. She ain't do nothing for me. She ain't take care of me. She wasn't there for me when I was little, when I was coming up, and when I needed something. She didn't do nothing for me, so I ain't doing nothing for her. You will cut your blessings off dead smack right there. That will be the end for your blessings because you're thinking like that and you're already premeditating not doing anything for your parents. Again, I know I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not, by all means, am I saying that that's something easy to do. It's not. On face, hey Latasha, she's saying when people do wrong by me, I'm just gonna move on. And it's okay to move on. But if you're moving on and you haven't reached back, then you got to ask yourself, why didn't I reach back? But that people got to understand too is that reach back ain't going to be, listen, I'm not the bank. I'm not your ATM. If I put you in position and you blew that, that's on you. Don't come back over here. Don't come back over here. I gave you some money and you decided to go out there and try to live like I'm living because I'm making this money to sustain this lifestyle. You not. You went out there, you probably gave them 20,000, 30, 50,000, 100,000. Baby, they go out there and blow it. Blow it. I want to buy me this. I'm going to buy the Gucci this. I'm going to buy the Louis Vuitton. I'm going to all this name brand-ish. You ain't paid your Visa off. You ain't paid Verizon, your phone bill. You ain't paid your back rent. Matter of fact, you on Section 8 and you won't get them they funky little $20 a month. You 5 months behind and that's like, come on. But then we get mad. She over here, she thinking yep. You can say whatever you want to say because once I done put you in position and if you blow that, don't come back over here. Because I'm going to say like Bobby Brown said, this is my prerogative. I made this money. You didn't. Right, Fred? We out of here. People don't owe you not jack. Nobody owes you anything. If they make it and they come back and they bless you with something, that's because that's something that they wanted to do. But we got to stop making it seem like people owe us something because they don't. Now listen, you all, got to look deep real quick, but listen now, back to the regularly scheduled mess that I want to talk about. Now, what do you all think about this, fellas? They're saying that a man going back and forth with a woman is sassy. Oh yes, honey. They said if you sitting up here, you going back and forth with a woman and she da 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 da. He da 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 da. They saying, oh fam, you are sassy. What do you all think? Ladies, do you think is that an accurate statement? If a man is going back and forth with you, you all are not agreeing on the subject and you guys are just going back and forth. Do you consider that man sassy because he's going back and forth with you? And fellas, what do you all think? Do you all consider men that do that? Do you consider them sassy for going back and forth with a woman? I would have to say this. Listen, I'm going to say this. Now, this is not for all the fellas that support and rock with me. This ain't y'all. But I will tell you, I believe that this is really a true statement. I'm sorry. It does not apply to the men. My family, you all that rock, this don't apply to y'all. But y'all know, because y'all done seen it, and some of y'all done got on them too. You will see. I'm going to use myself for a prime example. If I post the video and I say something, baby, when I tell you, if these men don't like it, honey, they ready to go back and forth. I'm just like, oh, well, aren't we feeling tender and soft today? Aren't we feeling, a little delicate today? I'm just like, listen, but out of respect, I'm like, I'm not about to go back and forth with no man. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. If they I say something is if they getting disrespectful, then I'm gonna have to check you because I've had to tell several people, do not, what you're not gonna do is sit here and disrespect me. We can agree to disagree. I don't have a problem with people disagreeing with me. I don't. That's what we put this out here for. But you can disagree with me without calling me a B. Because once you call me a B, now all bets are off. I'm gonna have to let you know, son. Listen, I'm from the west side of Chicago. West side. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you a B. And then y'all make me forget that I'm trying to, build a brand and trying to be monetized and just trying to sit in my softness. I'm finding peace in this part of my life. But you can't call me no B and then think that all gonna be well. Like you can't do it. But you can say anything. You can look. You can't call me on my name. You just can't. You can disagree because we put content out here so that we can have a conversation. Look, no, I don't believe that, or you got it wrong, whatever. I'm okay with that. But if in any part of that, use a ignorant B, use a dumb, oh, well then listen, those are where I'm from, those fighting words. Internet or not. Like, now I got and I'm gonna tell you, that's exactly what I say to these dudes. I'm like, you are sad. Oh, you are too sassy for me. I'm gonna tell you one thing. You better never ever fix your mouth to disrespect me. But secondly, I'm gonna send you back to sassy land where you came from, and then I block them. But I do not let them go before calling them sassy, because I think that it's just a different type of vibe. It's a different type of energy that some of these low vibrating dudes, and like they've tapped, like literally you would feel like you're going, it's so catty. And I've only experienced this on social media. I haven't seen this like in real life. So maybe this is where the guys that, they back there. I just imagine a guy that's online that's going back and forth. I just imagine him having lip gloss on, sucking on a lollipop, just typing, you ignorant B. And that's the type of dude, that's what I imagine when I read those comments. And it's not a lot of them, but when I do see those comments, I just imagine a dude just sitting there, got baby lips shining, puckered up, listen, lips glistening, looking better than mine, and he's sitting up there, a grown man sucking on a lollipop, typing B I T C H and B. Yeah, that's how I imagine them doing. So you cannot look, fellas. If this is you, please stop. It's not a good look. It's not a good look to be going back and forth with women. But then, ladies, come on, I'm gonna switch it on us. We can't be going back and forth because it takes two to tangle. So you see that this is where the conversation is going. Let the woman in you say, you know what? I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm not even gonna entertain this foolishness right here. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I got too much, going on. And again, for the most part, I live in that space. But again, you call me a B, I'm gonna forget about all this stuff. I'm forget about all this. I'm forget about community standards, and I'm gonna forget about all of that because you call me a B. And I'm trying to, not live in that zone. But I'm like, listen, honey, you look. I didn't come from no pampered, pretty princess background. I'm just now trying to get right, okay? I'm just now trying to, act like I know how to blend lipsticks in and makeup in. I'm just now trying to act like what the Jay that you see sitting before you, I have to practice being her. I gotta practice because the other part is, we still a work in progress. And every day I be like, Lord, I know you able. Oh Lord, please, when I get on social media, please don't let me show out. Please, Lord, don't let me have to show out and lose it all up on this platform. Please don't let me clown, Lord, today. Because I'm one letter away from being in the red zone and being blocked and being in Facebook jail. And please, Lord, please. You know what I'm going to start doing? I'm going to start anointing my keyboard. I'm like, give me that prayer oil. Let me get that oil. I'm be like this, anointing my lip. I'm be like, let me anoint the keyboard and all of this. Because I'll be like, Lord, I'm telling you, I'll be like, okay, Lord, now I'm whole and I'm centered, and now I've been having a good week. Then I get on here, I'm like, oh fuck, see, forget it. I done lost today. But I be praying to be like, I don't even be wanting to be like that though. I don't. So fellas, don't look. Help me to stay, please help me to stay in my soft zone. I just want to just sit here and be the who y'all think I am. What y'all think I'm sipping on in here? Drop a comment. I'm gonna tell y'all, this is the best. Lord, when I tell y'all I love this mug, I love this mug because it keeps everything cold, like the ice cubes in here for like 24. The longest I've had something in here, it's been like 48 hours. And the ice was still ice cubes up in here. Now, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But for my beverage sake, baby, it was a beautiful thing. So drop what y'all think I'm drinking up in here. And I'll tell y'all. But yeah, I'm just like, listen. Please help me stay in my soft zone. So fellas, if y'all on here, especially on this social media, going back and forth with women, please stop, because it is not a good look. Like, it truly is not. Now, speaking of not a good look, what do you all think about this? And ladies, please tell me that it has not gotten to this point for some of our married women and our women that are in committed relationships. Listen, if you are at the store or you're out in public with your husband or with your dude, and if he opens the door for another woman that's in front of him, is it a problem? Do you have a problem with your man opening the door? So let's say you and your man, y'all together, and it's a woman that she's before y'all and she's going in, and your husband opens the door for her, and then he's still holding the door for you as well. Do you have a problem with that? Is there a problem? Is that a problem for a husband to open the door for another woman? Because I'm starting to see this on social media where these women, these wives, and girlfriends, they're spazzing out because their man is holding the door for another woman. And I'm just like, like, it's like that now. Like, I don't know if that's just is this a problem for a dude that has had has a past with cheating, and now she's like, she's in her insecure zone. I'm not sure if that's what the case is, or am I looking at this wrong? Am I looking at it the wrong way to think that it's a problem that the wife is doing this? Because I think it's just a bit too much. Like, again, if she's there, I would be looking at him like, why you ain't open the door? Like, we're there at the same time, but she's before us. He can't open the door for her so she can go in. I don't get it. Like, again, maybe I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, ladies, please explain it to me. Fellas, if I'm missing something, if I'm missing the point of some of these wives having a problem with their husband or their man opening the door or holding the door open for another woman. So let's say you all walked in and there was a woman behind you. He opened the door and held it for you to come in, and then he notices a woman coming behind him. Is he wrong for holding the door for that woman? Should he let the door slam in her face like he didn't see her? Like, I don't understand. So I need somebody to help me understand. Cedric, you're saying it's common courtesy. That's what I think. That's what I mean, at least I thought it was, but I'm just like, I'm seeing videos of women. I looked at him and I gave him the look like, he know what that means. He know, I wish you would. Like, wait, what? I'm like, clutching my, I'm like, okay, when did we get here? How were we here? Like, he can't, don't no other woman come before me. Well, ma'am, how is him showing courtesy, being a courteous, being a gentleman? Isn't that why you married him? Because he was a gentleman. So you saying that only you, he can only do those courteous things for you. You make it seem like he bought her flowers or something. He's just holding the door because she was either in front of you all or behind you all. But I'm just like, listen, if I see sisters and I get that you start giving off that vibe. Thankfully, I haven't really experienced that, and I hope not to, because I'm just like, it's never that, it's never that deep. So I'm only thinking that maybe that these are guys that have had the habit of cheating in the past, and now it's just like she don't trust you. So of course she gonna be on edge every little thing you do. She gonna be like, yeah, because I remember when you was over there. Yeah, that's how I started off with Monica. Then turn around, you opening the door for Monica. Next thing you know, Monica got her legs over your shoulder. Like, ma'am, listen, if you still living there, maybe, just maybe, this probably ain't the relationship for you. That's probably, if he still got you thinking about Monica and you forgave him for that ish, but you're still there, I don't know. I don't know if you should still, you probably shouldn't be over there. You probably should stick a fork in that relationship, or go talk to somebody, because the last thing you want to do is live in a state of confusion, a state of just, you're not at peace. You got to look over your shoulder and you like, yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, every time I turn around, that's how he think he's slick. He ain't slick. Only person that you need to be worried about is me. That's what the problem was. That's how you end up cheating the first time. You worried about what all these other bees got going on instead of worried about the bee you married to. Like, huh? Okay. If you want to live like that, by all means. But for me, I don't think that it's an issue for my man to open the door for another woman. You see her coming, hold the door, open the door. Like, I'm not gonna live in that type of insecure zone. If I gotta feel like that, then this is not the relationship for, like, something is wrong. If something is wrong with me. If the simplest thing as a man showing another woman some courtesy and it gets me riled up like that, it's something wrong with me. So late, ma'am, whoever, ladies, wives that feel like this, it's something wrong with you and why you all, why this bothers you like that. So you just gotta, just kind of maybe talk to somebody about that little tick, because again, something as courteous as, your man opening the door for another woman, that shouldn't be something that would upset you like that. Now, look, speaking of upset, listen, it seems like every time you turn around, it's some foolishness. But this mother, and I don't really think that this is some foolishness, but tell me what you all think. A mother, she goes viral for saying that her sons would lose their inheritance if they had a child outside of wedlock. And a lot of people are saying that is too extreme, that is controlling. But what do you all think about that? A mother says, listen, we got a lot of ish to lose, and we don't do this here in this family. We get married. We don't do baby mamas and baby daddies. And our sons have that has been instilled in our sons. So they know what we expect from them. And if they step outside of those realms, then you have made a decision to forfeit your inheritance, because we have told you that if you have a child outside of wedlock, you will lose your inheritance. And people are saying, that's a little bit too extreme. The parents are, that's too, oh, the mother is being overbearing and controlling. But what do you all think about that? Is she being overbearing? Is she being controlling? Or is she being, a mother? Is she protecting what it is that her family has built by telling her sons that? Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, they have a choice. You have a choice. There will be consequences. If you decide that this woman is good enough for you to leave your seed in her, but she's not your wife, you will lose what I've worked hard to leave for you. You will forfeit that. Is that controlling? Absolutely not. I don't think that it is. What makes it controlling? She's not trying to run their life. Here's the thing. You know what we expect from you. A lot of people, we've gotten so comfortable with just doing as we please, that if people set standards and protocol for their family and for their lives and what they want, if it's not what you want to hear, people don't like it. Oh, that's controlling. She's a narcissist. No, she is a mother that knows things. She's a woman that knows that if your sons got this inheritance and they have a slew of kids, your stuff that you worked hard for gonna be split up into all of this stuff. Your family name gonna be dragged through the mud. You gonna be in, cause he gonna be in court fighting and all this other stuff. So is she wrong for setting her sons up to avoid that bullish? Because it's some bull, especially when you get with the wrong people. So we're not gonna make it seem like, listen, oh yeah, single motherhood is the ish, and because it's not, okay? It's not. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with this woman wanting to get back to the way that things should be, the correct order of things. Having a family, a mother and a father, a husband and a wife, and they having kids within that union, opposed to you leaving a kid over here, you leaving a kid over there, you leaving all these kids everywhere. Now, listen, the dysfunction continues. See, people don't like this because it shakes up what is normally going on and acceptable today. She like, listen, you won't be doing no gender reveals over here. If we ain't said no I do's, you ain't revealing a jack over here. Now, you go ahead on and see if I'm playing. You go on out there and have you some kids and see how you do on your own. Because here's the thing, if he feel like he want to have some kids on his own, she didn't say she was going to disown him, but she did say that this money right here, I made this money. You did, and I'm not again, it goes back to that entitlement. I'm not obligated to leave you nothing. And I can still love you in the process because I told you what I expected. And if you want to mess around and find out, mess around and find out. But is she wrong for keeping her money that she worked for? Absolutely not. So you either straighten up and follow what the guidelines are that she is setting in, that she has set in order as a stipulation in order for you to receive the money that she worked hard for to build and that she's going to gift to you because she loves you and she wants you to be able to take care of your family and you build something solid like she's done. Is she wrong for putting those type of guidelines on there to protect herself and her family legacy? No, she's not. But the reason why that feels uncomfortable to a lot of us is because we don't hear the word inheritance. They're not dropping that word. They're not dropping the word inheritance like that in a lot of our conversations and in a lot of our families. We're not hearing that. So when we hear that, we're like, oh, it's wrong. It's no. It's not wrong. It's just not what we're used to hearing. It's not what we're used to having those type of things promoted. Because think about it, you all of the good stuff, the stuff that can help us, we fight it. We fight it. We're resistant to it because again, we just running, we just used to kind of running amok with this bull junkie. We out here, we like, yeah, listen, I feel good. I want a skeeter kid over here. I want a skeeter kid there. Skeet. But this lady saying, you skeet and you have some kids and they out of wedlock, you're going to lose your inheritance. Cedric, you're saying out of pocket. She completely out of pocket. Hey, Lord Tanae. Cedric, why is she out of pocket? I want to know why she out of pocket for, again, this is her money. She's leaving it to her son and her sons. And if she say, listen, in order for you to get this is just like when people leave things in a will. And she letting them know, in my will, this is what's going on. And if at any time you violate the terms of this, you cut off. Rich pink people do it all the time. Ain't no telling what these folks leave in their will. Again, you have a choice. The choice is yours. If you want to get your said inheritance, because again, she don't owe you nothing. You grown. If you want the inheritance, then you follow the protocol. You follow the terms and conditions that have been set up. But if you don't want this money that I made here, that I'm going to leave to you, if you don't want it, then you go and you do what you're going to do. And may you build well. Because this mine. And I can tell you exactly what I want to do with it, how I want to do with it, and what I want to happen and how I want to see this family continue to grow and continue to flourish. So I didn't look at it as though it's something negative. She comes from a family and she wants to keep that family legacy. Again, we got so many legacies being broke off and just split. It's so many branches of these families because it's so many kids by so many different men and so many women. You got this family over here. You got this family. You tied to all of these women. You tied to all of these men. When are we going to bring that thing back in and start having a wife and a husband and having kids within the confounds of that marriage? And that's what this mother is saying. She gonna have to do that. If you want this money, you gonna have to do just that. Now, you all, speaking of doing just that, baby, tonight, listen, look. Tonight we talking about cheating, okay? Wait a minute. Cheating feels normal, okay? Should women expect it? Should women expect to be cheated on? Listen, we are in 2026, okay? It's so much going on, you all. It's just like being faithful. It's like sometimes it seems like that's the hardest thing for some men to do in today's society. Now, listen, we do know that ladies cheat, and we're going to get on them. But tonight, we're talking about women because let me start off with this question first. Who do you all think cheats more? Is it women or is it men? Who do you all think cheats more? Now listen, I said who cheats more, not who cheats the best. Okay? Who cheats more? Men or women? I'm gonna give y'all a hint. Fellas, I love y'all. But yeah. Fellas, men cheat the most, in my humble opinion. But women cheat better. And there's a difference. The few select women that cheat, they just do it better than men. They're not sloppy with it. And a lot of times, listen, let's be honest. Women rarely, and this is us fellas, I know as I'm saying this is what makes you all have some trust issues. And I understand it exactly. The statement that I'm about to say, I understand this is why you all have some trust issues. Women can cheat, and they rarely do women get caught cheating. Rarely. It's almost always that a man gets caught when he is cheating. Because, fellas, this is why men get caught. Because you all, first, a lot of you all are creatures of habit. And then you break that habit when you get something new going on. You forget the pattern of life that you were living. And we notice that. So if you are always, typically you're grumpy in the morning when you get up for work and you just cussing everybody out, cussing the dog out, everybody just got to get out your way. Then all of a sudden you wake up, you in a good mood that day. Okay, she don't say nothing, but she looking. Next day, you in a good mood. So now all of a sudden you miss the perky, you miss the sunshine in the morning. Now, that leads her to think like, why he all of a sudden, because that's what we gonna think, why he all of a sudden happy? He'll never be this happy in the morning. He always cussing somebody out. He always mad. What got him this happy in the morning? See, now she got to find out what got you that happy in the morning. Because again, if you this grump and now all of a sudden nothing bothers you, she got to find out what it is. Because you just not going to stay consistent. You know, you all switch things up. And that's how you all get caught. It's the slightest things that you all do that you may think that she's not even paying attention to. You may be a dude that don't wear cologne to work. You only wear cologne when you go out. Now you're starting to wear cologne to work. She like, baby, since when you start wearing cologne to work? Oh, baby, you finna bite her whole head off. What you mean? Why wear? Can I wear some cologne to work? Wait a minute. Now mind you, she done been with you for 5 years, and you ain't never, ever wore no cologne to work. And now you want to bite her head off because she asking you why all of a sudden you starting to wear cologne. But see, because you can't tell her that you wearing the cologne for the chick that's in the office. You can't tell her that. You can't tell her that. You can't tell her that you wearing the cologne because the work wife done bought you the cologne and you be slipping off and doing some ish, behind the scenes, that you ain't got no business doing. You can't tell her that. Okay? But that's a sign that it meant nothing to you and you all don't pay attention to that. You all don't pay attention. She could be the same. The woman could be the same exact way. She did not wear cologne or she didn't wear makeup to work. But now all of a sudden she's starting to wear makeup. Fellas, most of you all would miss that. You would miss it until it's too late. So that's the difference. So women are clocking, and it's natural. It's just like we naturally observe things that men, little things. We naturally observe things that you all may typically miss. But Cedric is saying women. He says men cheat out of physical lust, women cheat out of love and emotion. That is absolutely correct. Women cheat out of love and emotion most of the time, men out of the physical. But Cedric, you got it wrong. Men cheat most of the time, but women cheat better, in my opinion. But again, the simplest things. So now, in today's society, when you got all this twerking, slapping cheeks, listen, baby, you could open up this blue app and they flood your inbox. You got all this nakedness and nakedry going on. Is it difficult, fellas? And I want you all to answer this, if you will. Is it difficult to remain faithful in today's society with it being practically, it's just average, that thing is being advertised 24/7 on every, you turn around, there's some thing being advertised, it's some thing being thrown in your inbox, or you inboxing some new thing. Is it difficult for men to remain faithful? And then, do all men cheat? Do all men at some point in the relationship or in the marriage, do all men at some point cheat? Fellas, if you will, please answer that question and answer it honestly. Do all men at some point cheat in the marriage or in the relationship? Do at all point, you can say, Jay, you know what? Look, I don't care how good of a dude he is. Eventually, he's gonna cheat. Not because he doesn't love you, but because he gave over to his lust. Because as it was said earlier, men cheat because of the lust. Women cheat out of love and emotion. So, is it inevitable that a man is just going to listen? Ladies, look, you just have to give him this. You can have a good man. I'm going to add in another question. If a man cheats, does that mean he's not a good man if he cheats? Oh, yes, you all, we got to bust this wide open tonight. We got to talk about this cheating-ish, and we're not judging. We're just having a conversation because we need to help heal some folks. We need to help create some healthy boundaries and some healthy guidelines and some healthy expectations. So if you all are saying, Jay, at some point, a man is, because that's just in a man's nature. Some men have told me that. Some men are saying, listen, Jay, look, if this dude step out, don't go sitting up here trying to throw this dude away, because if he taking care of you, he taking care of the kids, he doing everything. Y'all been together 10 years and he step out on you a couple of times. But you never found out he don't bring you back nothing home. He ain't bringing no babies home. He ain't disrespecting you. You need to let that go. Because he's just doing what a man is going to do. Is that the case? Cedric is saying, honestly, yes. So, Cedric, I want to make sure I'm not quoting you wrong. Honestly, yes, what? That all men at some point will cheat. Is that what you're saying yes for? Lord Tanae is saying, no, not me. Not for me. Not for me. So I got 1 and 1. He's saying not for me. Cedric is saying yes. Lord Tanae is saying not for me. Now, again, I'm in between, but I'm more so likely. Oh, Leo is saying all men don't cheat, Jay. So I have 2 men that are saying no, and then 1 man saying yes. YouTube, while y'all over here voting, what are y'all saying over here on YouTube? I'm trying to screen on the side. Okay, so Latasha said that is false. Not all men cheat. Okay, got it. So this saying, look, I think I'm gonna go with the not all men cheat. I will say a lot of men cheat. I'm not gonna say all men, but if I had to do hand measurements, with this being all men versus the amount of men, so this is all men, and the amount of men that cheat, in my opinion, would be this amount. So this is all men. This is the amount of men that cheat, in my opinion. It's just, so if you got you one that falls between here and here, there are some that fall. See, we went in. This is the measurement. But this is all men, and then this is the men that cheat. So I believe that a good amount of men cheat. I do. I don't think that it's a financial thing. I used to think that it was a money thing, but listen, look, in the hood, you see crackheads out here fighting because he cheated and they ain't got no money. He ain't got no money. What y'all over here fighting for? Because he was cheating on her with this one over. So I used to think that it was a financial thing or class thing. But no, I think that men that have more money, they're able to cheat better. But I think that overall, men, listen, a lot of men, most men are going to cheat. With that being said, should women expect that? I'm going to say no. Women should not expect to be cheated on, because you could have that dude that does not cheat. So it goes to, again, all men don't cheat. You could be blessed enough to have that dude that does not cheat. So that's always the plus side of the situation. You could have that dude that does not cheat. If he does cheat, what should you do? Should you automatically, just because he cheats? Listen, we grown talking tonight. We real talking tonight. If he does cheat, are we throwing this relationship away? Are we throwing the marriage away? You've been married 6 years. You got 3 kids, and you found out that he cheated with Lil Dusty at the office. Are you going to throw all of that away? 6 years. He's a good provider. How did you find out he cheated? You saw it, a text message come through his phone. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You saw a text message. Look dusty. Ooh, it was so good. I want some more. And then you see him saying, man, I can't do this no more. He's like, I can't do this. He was like, man, I shouldn't have even did it. You see all of that. Do you throw the relationship? Do you throw that marriage away? I want you to think about this very, very carefully. And I don't expect you all to answer in the feed. But you got to think about that. 6 years, 3 kids, he taking care of everything. Jay, so you telling me to stay with a cheater? It's a difference between a cheater and somebody that cheated. A cheater is somebody that does this. This is what he does. A man that cheated allowed himself to be consumed by his lust, and he done stepped out. Now, some people believe once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't really believe that for the most part. But for the men that fall into this category, a lot of them do fall under that umbrella of once a cheater, always a cheater. So this is one of the things, like, I like to ask when I'm meeting dudes and going out and dating and stuff, I'd like to know, have you cheated? I ask that question, have you ever cheated? Why did your last relationship end? I cheated. Because now, to me, now that's letting me know the type of dude that I could possibly deal with. So now I go a little further, because now I want to know, because this is telling me about who you are. This is telling me about your integrity. It is telling me the type of man that you are. And I'm like this. If you feel like this question is too personal, or if I'm imposing on your personal space, I respect that, and you don't have to answer this question. The question being, so what made you cheat? Why did you cheat? And I listen to the answer. And my thing is this. If be honest, be transparent. Because if you lying, I'm like, listen, I ain't even trying to deal with all this, because you can't even be honest about something that happened that don't even have nothing to do with me. And here you are, you lying. So I'll look at that as yeah, no, you're gonna be over here. I could not trust my heart to you, because you lying over something that you don't even have to lie over. That's that. I've heard things like, man, I got bored with her, or we were having problems, and instead of me talking to her, man, I just stepped out. I shouldn't have did it, but I mean, I did. It's not something that I'm proud of. I've heard those type of answers. And I've heard, man, because I just like a variety of women. And I don't want to be, I thought I wanted to be in this, but I realized I don't want to be in a committed relationship. I've heard those answers too. So if you're in a situation and cheating does occur, and you've built this life before throwing, again, I'm not saying accept the cheating and all. What I'm saying is, assess your marriage, assess your relationship, and make the decision that's best for you in your household. Because here's what I'm gonna say: there's not a one size fit all answer with this, because everybody that has cheated don't deserve grace, but only you can determine in your own situation. in your own marriage, does this man deserve some grace? Does he deserve a second chance? Do I look past this indiscretion and keep it moving? Here's another thing I will say. If you found out your man cheated and you're not going to leave, please don't confront that man. Do not confront that man, and you know that you're not going to leave. Don't confront him at all. What you mean don't confront him? Because you will lose all leverage of any, because if it ever happened again, you will not have a leg to stand on, because he's going to know how you're going to react. So if you know that he has cheated, but you know you ain't going nowhere, don't confront him. And I'm not saying let him cheat in peace. That's not what I'm saying. Do not confront it, because again, it's pointless. Why are you going to confront him and then stay? I believe the only time that you should confront him is if you're going to leave, or if his cheating was loud and disrespectful. If the cheating made its way back to you and it was in your face, that's a whole different conversation. But if you found out he was cheating because you looked at his phone, but the chick never contacted you, you never seen anything differently about him, he was always where he said he was going to be, you don't even know how he found the time to cheat, because he's showing up as the husband, as the father. He's showing up for all of those things. But you saw the message, so you know he cheated. I wouldn't confront. I wouldn't. Now, am I saying that I won't be sad, or I won't be, I will need a little space until I got my, got my heart and my senses together. And then at that point, I'm going to watch how you move. And now I'm going to watch extra careful now, because you done already crept up. You done already been out there. You done already played the field. So now I got to see, is this a pattern, or was this a one and done? Because now if it's a pattern, I'm going to have to let you go. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to play me like Nick Nack, Patty Whack, get a dog a bone. But if it truly was a one and done, I don't like it. But I would have to say, you know what? I'm not about to tear my house up for a little dusty. I'm just not. Again, is it going to be sweet over here? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to go tear his car up. We still married. That's coming out of our money. I'm not going to tear my house up. We're still married. That's coming out of my money. Why am I going to tear something up and I'm going to have to end up replacing it? Not going to do it. But what I am now, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. Now that I found out that you done cheated, now this is just me. I would have to become Inspector Gadget for a minute. So I'm going to probably put some secret stuff on your phone so I can be reading your text messages, because you already got away. You don't, because before y'all say, see, that's too much. That's too much. No, it's not too much. You done cheated already. So you've opened this up. But I'm not going to confront you, and I'm not going to tear our house up, but I'm also not about to sit here and look stupid and let you keep doing what you doing behind my back. So I'm going to start having some tracking and some surveillance devices because now I gotta watch you. You don't know it, but now I have to build back up the trust that I had in you because you betrayed me. The difference is you don't know that I know about the betrayal. See, that's the thing. You don't know. Now, some people may say, listen, that ain't gonna work. How come it's not gonna work? You can't tell me what I need to do to make me feel safe and comfortable because you violated my trust. But I don't want the relationship to end because you still good in 95%. 95% of us is good. But I wanted 100. I had 100 before you cheated. So now, me looking at your text messages or emails or whatever it is that I feel like I have to do to watch you, because again, you made me watch you. I wasn't watching you before you cheated. I know, fellas, y'all may not agree with that. Cedric, you're saying if you can't fully forgive them, it's best to move on. Why is that not forgiving them? How is that not forgiving them if you're now checking behind them? Doesn't mean that I don't forgive you, but it takes time to build back up that trust because you betrayed me, so you shattered that trust. It doesn't mean that I don't forgive you, but you don't just get to break a person's heart and tear them apart and then just think that, oh, okay, well, we're staying together. Okay, so now I'm good. No. Now she has to go through the repair process. Some repair processes look different. I'm just telling you what I would possibly do. Because you betrayed my trust. I found out. You didn't confess to me. I found out. Now, if, let's say this cheat, he confessed it. Now, I'm not going to go looking through your stuff because you've confessed it to me. Am I still going to be hurt? Absolutely. But you're transparent. You're honest with me. You keeping it a buck. I can do nothing but respect that. Am I still hurt? Absolutely. I'm going to need a minute. Yes. But I don't feel like I'm going to have to look behind you because you came to me. I didn't find it. You came to me. So at least I'm like, okay, man, he didn't have to tell me. He didn't have to tell. That's how I would be looking at it. He didn't have to tell me, but he told me. And it kind of lessens the blow opposed to if I had to find out about it. Again, now I can't trust you. He still cheated though, Jay. How you going to trust him? Because he told me. He did not have to tell me. That's the difference. So now, again, I can go through the healing process. Now he knows what I'm going through. He knows to give me my space, to give me my time, try to help redeem himself. And that's the pro to that situation. That's the pro to having a grown man sit down and tell you something that he did versus you having to find out. Am I saying he's not a grown man because he didn't tell you? I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying there's a difference in the process in how you processing that healing. The healing process is different for him telling you versus you finding out. You finding out is going to be definitely more shocking and definitely more traumatic and definitely is going to be a lot to work through to build back up that trust. Again, it's still going to be a lot of work for if he told you, but you would always be able to replay and say, you know what? He told me, at least he told me. He had enough respect for me to tell me, and I can respect him for that. Now, in a perfect world, I would like to say, you know what? Respect me enough to keep it in your pants. Respect me enough to not go out there and have community wee-wee. Respect me enough, love me enough to honor your vows. Love me enough to respect what we're building, even if we're not married. If you said that we're in a committed relationship and I'm thinking that we're in a relationship, respect me enough to stand on your word. And if this is not what you want to do, or this is not where you want to be, then let's have that conversation so that we can make preparation to go our separate ways. I feel like at this point, in the 30 plus age range, I don't feel like people should be cheating. I'm just gonna say it. I don't think they're cheating. What the F you cheating for? What you cheating for? If you not happy, say, look, it's so easy to sneak around somebody's back. It's so easy to do that. And it's so hard to sit down and have a grown conversation before you step out on somebody, before you step out on a person that you say you love. We like to say, I tried to talk to her. I tried to talk to them. They so hard to talk to them. That may be true. That may be true. It may be hard to talk to some people. You know why? Because we're trying to have a conversation. But I'm going to tell you what people don't say. You say this statement, you got almost anybody's attention. Even the person that is hard to talk to, you trying to express to them how you feeling and they can't receive it. Got it. This same person, if you say, I'm going to cheat on you if you don't get your ish together. Oh, honey, the fuck? Oh, you got you said, you gonna do what? Now you got that person's attention. The person that you've been trying to sit down and talk to, now you have their attention because you have said some key words that stops everything dead in this track. I'm going to cheat on you. That's going to quiet the room. Now that I have your attention, can we sit down and can we talk? Because this is just that deep. This is where we are in this marriage. This is where we are in this relationship. I'm tired. I'm tired of this ish. We got issues that we need to work on. Point blank. If you don't get your ish together, I will cheat on you. I will leave you. We got to start having the real conversations. And people are not doing that. We're trying to have these phony conversations. But then we'll be like, well, they wasn't listening to me, so that's why I cheat. No. Go tell them the ish that you telling the person, the replacement person. Tell your person that. Let's start keeping it real. We not going to keep it real. We not. I tried to talk to them. Babe, I want to talk to you. He don't never have no time. Dudes don't have time for you to say, babe, I want to talk to you. They don't. Anytime a woman say they want to talk about something, dudes zone out. They like, Ladies, never tell a dude you want to talk to them. Just spit it out. Just say it. Just regurgitate everything you want to say. Because if they know you want to plan on having a conversation with them, they know it's something that they don't want to hear. It's almost 9 times out of 10. They going to be like, here she go with this, boy. I ain't finna. So don't schedule no conversations with them. You just got to tell them. You just got to tell him what the F is going on. You got to tell him. Listen, if you don't get it together, I'm going to tell you, this is what I'm going to do. Watch you don't have his attention. And I'm like, listen, before you come trying to ruffle up my sweater, you better chill. Okay? You better chill because I'm trying to have a conversation with you. Have the conversation. But we've made it in today's society, we've gotten so comfortable with being underhanded and being deceptive. We don't be keeping it real. We do not. We do not. So, should women expect to be cheated on? No, shouldn't expect to be cheated on. Nobody should expect to be cheated on. But does cheating happen? Absolutely. And a lot of it. A lot of it. A lot of it. And if you're under the sound of my voice and you've never been cheated on, that is a blessing. That is a blessing to have never experienced that type of heartache, heartbreak, and pain. But for those of us that have experienced it and have survived it, now at this point, we're like, okay, you know what? Listen, again, I don't believe that all men cheat. I don't. But again, I believe that there's a good chunk of them that do. So if you got the dude that don't cheat, be thankful and be grateful. But we got to start doing better by each other. There's so much. Are there any reasons, legitimate reasons that we would say, you know what? I can see why he cheated. Because are we going to have that conversation? Are we going to be honest enough to say, you know what? I see why he cheated. Because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I stopped showing up as his wife. I stopped showing up as his woman. I stopped showing up as the woman that he fell in love with. I stopped doing the things that he wanted. I let go of myself. I'm no longer the woman that he fell in love with. Now, if there are health challenges and things that in life that have caused you to not be that same woman, then we're not talking about that, because those are things that are beyond your control. Even though those things do play a big role, hopefully you have somebody that is really taking them vows seriously, for better or worse, sickness and health. Hopefully they're taking those vows into consideration. But if you just the chick that, you know what, listen, you started off, now your career is on and popping, you number one in everything, you stop respecting him for being the man, your man, you stop respecting him as being your covering, you stop being the woman that he fell in love with. See, we're going to keep it real. You stop being a woman that he fell in love with. Is that a reason? Is that an excuse to cheat? I ain't going to say it's an excuse, but I will doggone sure say he got a point. He got a point. He like, man, now you cussing him out in front of your family and friends. You didn't used to do that. He asked you to fix him something to eat. Now, you get your own plate. What you think this is? You didn't used to do that. He asking you not to wear certain things. Now you got so much to say. You didn't used to do that. You always in the club now. And you married and you're in a committed relationship. You always there. You didn't used to do that. Every time he turn around, you doing a girl's trip like you don't have a family. You didn't used to do that. Is he right for cheating? I'm just saying. Ask yourself, are you still the woman that he met, married, and fell in love with? Are you still her? Because if you done switched up and he not getting what he need from you, because you always on a girl's trip, or now you out earning him. Now you talking down to him. Now you better than him. Now, oh, I make more money than him. I ain't got. Girl, please, until he get this bag, until his bag come, until he can match my bag or exceed my bag, he can't say nothing to me. Oh, y'all know, listen, y'all know how some of us get. Listen, baby, because our mouths can be ridiculous. Your mouth alone can kill your whole relationship. Your mouth alone. I'm gonna say that again, ladies. Some of our mouths can kill the very love that man have for you. Some of the stuff that y'all say will kill all the love he had for you. All of it. Because you won't be quiet. Because of the way you talk it. You disrespected him. You disrespected his family. You disrespected things that he holds near and dear to him. But you didn't used to be like that. Is he right for cheating? I'm just saying. Brother may have a point. At the end of the day, guys, though, marriages, let's start fighting for our marriages. Let's start fighting for our families. It's so much temptation out here. It's so many attacks on the family. Especially the black family. The attack is real. Let's start lines of communication with each other to save our marriages, to save our relationships, and hopefully those relationships lead to marriages if that's what you're looking for. But if there's a problem, if there's something that's troubling you, if there's something that needs to be resolved, let's start talking to each other. If as much as possible, and if you have tried to talk to them, and again, they haven't listened, or it's not registering, say some key words. I will cheat on you. I promise you, you will have their attention. I promise you. That will shut it all down. What you say? Now that I have your attention, can we have a conversation? Can we have a conversation? We got to start taking care of our marriages, taking care of our families, taking care of our relationships. Because again, do all men cheat? No, a good amount of them do. Should women expect to be cheated on? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But if you have been cheated on, start running down. And I'm not victim blaming. I'm not blaming. I'm just saying, let's assess our individual relationships and let's start seeing why did this person cheat? What happened? Where did we disconnect? And from that point, then you determine if this is something worth fighting for and healing and repairing, or if this is something where you're like, you know what? Nah, this done. This done. There's no turning back. There's no coming back from this. Guys, listen, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor. Go to our YouTube channel, like and follow us there. Subscribe to Jaye Spot Radio. Go to Facebook, like and follow us, the Jaye Spot. Go to Instagram, like and follow us, the Jaye Spot. Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other. Good night, you guys. Good night. I don't know what my remote says, so I got to get up and walk, y'all. Good night. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.